Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be watching me today. My name is Okpeyemi Adeosun, and this is the part 2 of this series in which I spoke about women in the part 1. I want to go ahead and talk about being single. In the part 1, I try to appreciate women or a girl child, the gift of God to this planet Earth, and I made them see themselves. I hope I've succeeded in making you appreciate yourself and to make you know how important you are to the earth. And also, I hope I also make men realize that they should appreciate this gender better than they are doing right now. And so far, no male has come around to counter whatever I said. Life is supposed to be sweet and interesting. So if you are trying to live your life, make your life sweet as much as possible, and someone else is making it miserable, you should look back and check yourself. We have to understand something. That relationship is like marketing yourself as products or services. Sometimes it's not only about how good the product or service is, it's also about how people feel about you. So it's very important that you don't blame yourself for everything that happens. I'm not saying you should not look and check yourself, but you might have tried your best and you keep failing because the other person or your partner is not appreciating you. Yesterday I went out and I was talking to a female friend of mine who watched my first video, the part 1, and she was making some comments because I thought she is a beautiful lady, and I just felt, these ladies, maybe they are not ready for marriage, but she told me, okay, I feel like getting married. She told me her age, and she's quite advanced in age, and I just felt bad within myself that why are bachelors not seeing these beautiful girls? And it draws me back to myself years ago when I was searching for a wife to marry. I was among women, surrounded by women. Still I couldn't find a wife. And I asked myself yesterday, what was I looking for exactly before I met my wife eventually? I couldn't find an answer. It's a point of confusion in men in which we don't just know what we want. And please, men are not women. We don't understand ourselves, and we don't also understand women. We don't understand women because someone said, we were fast asleep if we go by the story of the Bible. So that's why women are not meant to be understood. They are meant to be loved. And it pains me to see women suffer because in the society where I live, they suffer most. Even before they enter into marriage, you see what some men, irresponsible and opposite of useful men, what they do to ladies. It pains me a lot. I've asked questions. I've interacted with a lot of ladies in my life. I've interacted with a lot of men, and I think I know what the problem is. And I'm talking about normal men now. Now there are guys out there that are absolutely irresponsible. They are broken. They are sick in the air. If you see such guys from the beginning, please run. Don't even wait. The late Desmond Tutu said we need to go upstream and find out why people are falling instead of just pulling them out of the river. I'm here to let you see some of the errors that you might be making as a single lady. There are still wonderful men out there, good men, but you never can rule it out that men can make mistakes, and men will make mistakes. I want to tell you how you can manage us, because that's the best you can. No man is perfect out there. Even you are not perfect. So you may be good and you wonder, why am I not getting it all? It might not be your fault all the time, but let's discuss it. Maybe there are better ways you can handle things. And I want to ask you the same question like hypocrites ask. that are you willing to give up all the things that is making you sick? Because you have to know that getting over all the past is very important. You need healing most times, especially if you have been in bad relationship in the past and you are so pained. You need to put yourself where you belong. You are a queen, you are special, and men, whoever the man is, has to respect you. You deserve that. People say that this man is old enough, he's 30 something, he's 40 something, but he's not getting married. Look, not all men are matured. I'm sure some of you have a lot of experiences with men. You can meet a 38-year-old boy and you can meet a 24-year-old man. So you open your eyes. When you realize this from the beginning, stop going ahead. If to say bia, they give wisdom. Even goats go be prophet or imam. You understand? But the fact is that age is not really the essence of wisdom. It's not what brings wisdom to a man. It is application of the knowledge that the man has decided to get. So I won't deny that men have treated women so badly in my society, to the extent that some women even believe that no good man out there. Some say men are scum, men are goats, men are dogs. And when they tell me men are dogs, for example, I say, okay, I'm including your father, right? And what breed is your father? Rottweiler or Alsatian? Because you have to know that eventually you will still need a man. What I'm going to be telling you may not be that comforting. There are a lot of unpleasant truth there, but I have an open heart. Check some of my discussions out and some of my points for you to see if they're applicable to you or they're applicable to one of your loved ones. Just as a proof that not all men are bad, not all men are scum. I am a living testimony. I am a good man. And if you want to know how good a man is, ask his wife. This lady said that not all men are sexual predators. Most of my friends are males. I have hugged them when I felt happy. I have cried on their shoulders when I felt sad. I have stayed over in their houses when I felt low. They have protected my dignity like a family. Blame the person, not the gender. So your experiences should not make you generalize. Otherwise, you will not find the best in any other man. That particular guy that hurt you so badly is the guy, not other men. And please, this is the time for you to open a new chapter in your life. If you are hurting right now, if you are in a relationship where you are not happy, this is time for you to move on. It is time for you to open a new page, because you will never know if you don't close that chapter and open a new chapter. First step towards getting somewhere. And as a single lady, somewhere that I want you to get to now is that this is the beginning of a new year. You can't just be dating a guy for years and the guy is of marriageable age, you're of marriageable age, and you keep giving each other excuses, and you truly want to marry. Look, I am not saying marriage is the best thing that could happen to you. You could be single and happy, but I'm concerned about your happiness. Are you happy being single? If yes, fine. You remain single, live your life, enjoy it. But if you are not happy being single, not because your mates are getting married, not because your parents are disturbing you, but because you truly feel you need a man. It's a natural thing. You cannot just ignore it. You truly feel you need someone to talk to, someone to confide in, someone to open up to, someone to hold, someone to make love to, someone to enjoy, someone to build a family with. Then the first step towards getting that is to decide you are not going to stay where you are. And where you are now, if you are in the wrong relationship, you need to opt out. This is the time. If you are in a toxic relationship, if you are in a relationship where a guy is holding you hostage, dating you year one, year two, and he's not proposing, leave him now. Don't hesitate. Because look, let me tell you something. If a man cannot decide he wants to marry you within 6 months, then the man is not ready. Except you have serious excuses for him. Probably he's not financially buoyant. You understand? But anything above 1 year, please move ahead. Because there's no point holding you down. Because if you continue like this, we have had situations whereby you keep having sex and you keep aborting for him. Then he goes ahead and marries another lady. It's painful. It is so painful. I put myself in the shoe of some ladies and I just say, how do you do it? How do you cope? You will be bitter for life if you don't move on. You will never fly if you surround yourself with people who pluck your feathers to clean their hairs. That's what most of these guys do. They just used to satisfy their own selfish, their sexual desires, their ego. They use you to cook, they use you to wash their houses, and sometimes you enjoy their lives. You know they are deceiving you, but you kept on going. This is the time for you to move on. It is a decision you need to make today. Well, I will not be surprised if you won't listen to me. Because the 3 people very difficult to advise the most are women in love. That's number 1. The other 2 are man with money and an African woman following prophet or imam. I want you to just listen with an open heart and see if you can see reasons with me. Breaking up with this your toxic relationship doesn't mean that you are hating the person. Because I know that you might actually love this guy, despite his beating you, despite his maltreating you, you might love him. But let me tell you something. You can stop speaking to him and still care for him. And you can let go and still wish him the best. If you leave him alone, you will not be bitter. Don't be bitter or petty. It's for your own good. Because you just want to move ahead. You just want to be happy. And I'm saying this because if you are bitter in this one you are about to leave, or the one you have left, you may not see good in another man. So forgive him. Forgive everyone that has caused you pain. Don't put it in your mind that if you do not forgive, you may not heal. You will keep having anger and bitterness in you. It may affect the way you interact with others. Innocent guys will walk up to you and you overreact. Instead of smiling at him, you are frowning because another guy has hurt you so badly. So forgiveness opens up a pathway to a new place of peace of mind. And I'm not saying to be easy, but let me tell you something, woman. There's something God has put in you. Few men also have that, but almost all the women I've seen have that. You are so kind and soft. Do not let the world make you so hard. I know some of you are hurting and you feel like hurting the next person, but you don't know if that next person is a good person. Do not let this bitterness steal your sweetness. You are naturally sweet, and that is why we men take advantage of you. But there are good men out there. There's a man you are meant for. There's a man meant for you. Until you know that, you may go nowhere. Do not expect that because you give kindness, you give love, people will return it to you. Give it as much as you can. And I will tell you, don't hurt yourself. The way you will not hurt yourself, I think most of the time, the things that pain women so much is that they surrender everything, including their body. You give him your body, you give him your love, you sacrifice for him, yet he messes up. But this is time for you to heal. Just move on. Don't stay too long where you don't belong. I know we are moved a lot by what happens around us in our society. If you live for people's acceptance, you will die from their rejections. People don't really pay much attention to you as you think. You need to have that high self-worth, that self-love is very important. Self-esteem. As you may know, if you look deep into your past, you won't blame that guy alone. You too have made mistakes. And part of the mistakes you've made is that sometimes you have played the fool. You knew he was lying to you, you listened. He beat you mercilessly. You said, oh, he loves me, that's why he's jealous. He loves me, that's why he's beating me. Look, when a man raises his hand at you, he doesn't love you. That is not a proof of love. And if he beats you during courtship, he will beat you again in marriage. Don't be deceived. So don't be a victim of the circumstances you created. And for you to move on, know that The day that you find out why you are alive or why you were born is the most important day in your life. Let that day be today. The reason why you are alive alone is not for marriage. Marriage is just a side attraction, and it's a sweet thing, I can tell you. It's a sweet thing having someone to talk to confide in, to build your life with. But first, discover yourself. Who am I? What am I to do on planet Earth? Start fulfilling purpose. Add value to yourself and fulfill purpose. Don't just live the life like everybody. Going to work, going to church or mosque, or watching Telemundo, watching Zero. Life is beyond that. The secret of being happy is accepting where you are in life. And that's why I'm trying to position you in a place where you are free now. So it's obvious I cannot exhaust what is in my mind at a time. Please just expect another part almost immediately. Please subscribe to my channel. So just search for Opiansky Human Mind on YouTube and click on subscribe. Also click on the bell beside subscribe. You will get notification of my next video. And if you want to have further discussion, please send email to opiansky@gmail.com. I will be there to attend to your comments or your specific cases. Thank you.